Alex Wood, Editor-in-Chief at Tech City News, joins us now. Alex, great to have you on the show. Let's talk first about progress in the sharing economy. Names like Airbnb, Uber, everybody recognises them. They've seen huge growth in the last year. Are we likely to see an Uber IPO this year, and are they capable of printing the kind of double-digit growth that we've seen in the last year?
Absolutely. As you mentioned, in the last year, I think terms like Uber, Airbnb have become really mainstream. And yet there are a lot of people in the world of tech who are saying right now, yes, there's potential for Uber to IPO next year. Now, they're not short of cash at the moment. We keep hearing fundraising after fundraising. But if you look at them as a business, what's really interesting is they haven't conquered the whole world yet. And actually, it's relatively easy for them to move into a new market, regulation aside, of course, and just start to dominate and completely transform Asia, Africa, for example. There's a lot of potential out there.
Do you know what? I can't let you put regulation aside. I can't, though, because the problem with these kind of Silicon Valley startups is actually they move far quicker than regulation allows.
Absolutely.
And then they start being contained. I mean, look, what have we got now? China in the last 24 hours has warned about private car use. India, we know cities there have said no. Spain. They're getting locked down pretty quickly in some cities. Maybe that's because people are getting at them as far as a new company is concerned, but it is a problem.
It is definitely a problem, but as we've seen time and time again, this is about consumer demand. If you ask most of the people that use services like Uber and even the drivers themselves, they all say the same thing. This is a simple market economics exercise here. It's giving you a better service, faster and cheaper, and also giving people more employment. So I think it's a matter of time that we see it. I completely understand that there are reservations and there are people out there that won't like it, but I think it's going to change.
So two things, Internet of Things and wearable tech. We're expecting an announcement on Apple Watch and some competitors as well this year. How are they going to go down?
So we've seen in CES, it's all about the wearables. I think we're all getting more and more used to this idea of just having some tech on our body. But you know what I think is going to be really interesting this year is actually that most wearable tech is ugly. Not many people actually say that, most technology not good on your arm at all. And what I'm seeing in the next year is a lot more fashion brands and lifestyle brands, the likes of Nike, Adidas, some designers like Burberry actually going the other way around. So going about the form and then the function afterwards. I think when you've got something beautiful, you want to wear it. And that, I think, is what Apple Watch is going to change.
Themis? Yeah.
A lot of people are speculating that it's going to be a huge market. How big do you think that market might be, the wearables?
It's really difficult to say because it's such a broad market. So already you might see some people that are into fitness. They're wearing those bands around them and they're monitoring how much they're moving. Some of them are getting so good that you can use them in the gym as well. You can even measure how many times you're moving your bicep up and down. You can completely automate and add tech to every single layer of your life. Some people I see walking around in some of the more techie parts of London have got bits of tech on them that are like literally taking a picture of every second of their life. Like there are a lot of people who...
Why would you want to though? Themis, would you wear an iWatch?
I might actually. I've got a Garmin watch which I use for my running, but
okay, fine.
But the question is whether you wear it every day, because it's the practicality. And I think what you're saying is an interesting way of looking at it, because if you're wearing something that might be practical but it doesn't look great, then maybe that's not. It's not going to be
everyday use.
Exactly. I still have my reservations whether these wearables will replace the old watches, but it's an interesting aspect.
I mean, if you look at it from the perspective of Apple, the thing that they really crack is they make things consumer friendly, and I think we're starting to see that. You look at the iPad, there were tablets before then, but it takes them to make it so that you just pick it up and you know how to use it, and that's what I think speculatively the watch is going to do.
Do you know what I want to talk about? I want to talk about cyber attacks, because 2014 saw a huge lift off the likes of Target, we saw JP Morgan, there were a number of really well-known names that were severely targeted, and I've read a lot that insurance companies are going to be asking for cyber audits going forward, and that's just going to create an exponential increase in cyber costs. What does 2015 bring as far as that's concerned, if not more trouble?
Well, without meaning to sound a bit sort of gloomy on a Friday afternoon, I think this is unfortunately just the start. And the thing that I keep seeing time and time again is this kind of shift in responsibility. So if I can rewind maybe 5 or 10 years ago, do you remember people used to say, don't write your password down, make sure that you're careful, don't share it with anyone. But these days, it's completely the opposite way around. It's about the companies and their responsibility. So if you buy something online, you've got to remember that the second you've given your credit card details over, that's your data out there. And so actually, if you're a hacker, don't go for the person, go for the company that's got millions of card records. And so the likes of Sony, for me, I think is just the start.
Yeah, it makes sense. Alex Wood, Editor-in-Chief at Tech City News, great to have you on the show.